they're not in that
Where do United finish? We know there's obviously a lot of teams that are better than them at this moment.
At best, United, for me...
Top half?
Easy.
8th or 9th.
Yeah.
You don't think they can get 6th?
I'd be surprised.
Do you,
Would you?
Gary?
Yeah.
I think 6th would be... I think 5th, 6th would be like... That's where I think you should be aiming for.
Absolutely,
Of course.
'Cause I think you look at Chelsea, you look at Chelsea, Arsenal, City and Liverpool and you think it's difficult, but I think they've got to be looking to break into that Villa, Newcastle, Spurs bracket. And
wow.
No, they have to be looking at... They've got no Champions League, they've got no Europe. They have to be looking at that 5th and 6th.
You know, I agree with that. I look at some of the other managers in the league and Amorim's obviously come with a great reputation. It's been poor.
They've averaged a point a game.
Under the manager. Now, I know it's not all about the manager, but... Is Ruben Amorim a better manager than Eddie Howe or Unai Emery or Thomas Frank?
I don't think we know yet.
That's what I'm saying. So this idea that I don't know if he's as good as the other. He's not as good as a manager as Unai Emery or Eddie Howe, I don't think.
Yeah.
We'll get back to Keane and Nev in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And as ever, if there's something on your mind, if something is bubbling up inside of you that you need to express, please express it in the comments. The Big D reads all of the comments, and he's always interested in what is on your mind. Anyway, in this little clip, we see the return of Roy Keane, Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher and Ian Wright and Jill. Because guess what? The overlap's back, and guess what? The Big D is doing his usual commentary on what these guys have got to say about Manchester United. Because guess what? The season starts on Sunday. And in this clip, Roy Keane, as ever, does not disappoint. He gives his brutally honest opinion with regards to Manchester United, their new signings, and where he thinks they will finish next season. Anyway, stick around for after the clip because the Big D is going to give him his opinion on what was said in this clip. Here they are.
Are you happy with where United are at in terms of the signings from where you maybe thought they would be at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think we brought a few attacker players who know the Premier League. At least, they were, to me, over the last few years, they were bringing too many players who were trying to get used to the pace of the Premier League. They weren't robust enough, so at least they brought players in. The next challenge for them, obviously, can they do it for United week in, week out? But a few signings, you go, looks a bit better. They've had their usual PR this season, throwing up messages about the new trainer, going, that's well and good and fantastic and progress on that side of it. Obviously, Marcus moving on, still trying to get 1 or 2 players out the door. Yeah, I think the summer's not been too bad for United. But obviously, we go back to it, the proofs starts the weekend. So all this, but they'd done the same last summer. There was a lot of kind of good stories come out about United, and the training was this, and I know it's a different manager, and he's had his first full pre-season. So there is positives, but I'll judge that over the next few months when we're watching them week in, week out. Are these players up to it? Are they robust enough? Are they scoring enough goals? Obviously, last year...
I think Mbeumo and Cunha have shown they're robust enough, and the other clubs.
Yeah, but no, their next challenge is, can they do it for Man United? I'm glad they brought players in who are used to the Premier League. That's a plus. But now the challenge for these lads is, you've done it at Brentford, you've done it at Wolves. Can you do it for Man United?
When you feel like Anthony, Sancho, Garnacho, very much sort of like I call jinky type wide players who are not really expansive in terms of being able to open the legs. These do look profile-wise
a bit
dynamic,
more, a bit more pace, a bit more power. Obviously, they've got more of a goal threat, of course. And last year, if you look at the goals record for United, even the final against Spurs, not even scoring a goal in a final, you're like, they had to change that.
Yeah.
Still a lot of problems, of course.
What about defensively, Roy, the 5? What are they going to do?
Yeah, but I think the priority was to try and get some attackers in to score goals. If you're not scoring goals, you're constantly under pressure at the back. Still use question marks. You're going to be here all day, worry about the goalkeeper situation and defensively again.
They have to get a goalkeeper, don't they?
Yeah, seems to be.
Well, they're trying to get Donnarumma out there.
But apparently he might be going to City. But then what does that look like for Trafford?
That won't look
I'd be surprised if he went to City.
If Edison goes, that's what I heard this morning on the radio.
No, the goalkeeper's a problem for City. No, the goalkeeper is Trafford. Obviously, I like Trafford, but I think City, the goalkeeper there, I think he's.
Well, Donnarumma not playing the other day. He didn't play the other day. That doesn't just happen.
Who didn't play the other day?
Donnarumma. He was pulled out of the game. So he's going somewhere.
But if United were to get him, and then there's talk of Baleba from Brighton, which I can't believe.
They would find that money, you mean?
I just can't believe they're going to spend £100 million on it. I mean, Brighton are going to want big money for him.
I thought they were going bankrupt. That's what I was thinking. I mean, I thought where'd they get this money from?
You were months away from going bust, weren't they, last year? Was that your interview with them?
No, but I just don't know how this would fair.
Honestly.
Are the staff going to get their sandwiches back on the match?
People are starving.
Where does the 100? I mean, the Donnarumma one will be 30 million, whatever it's going to be, so that'll be fine, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But in terms of
but
that
again, huge wages, Nev, and another long.
The midfield does look worrying, doesn't it, with Agati, Casemiro, obviously.
What's happening with Kobbie Mainoo?
I looked at Kobbie Mainoo last week, and it looked like he'd physically changed in terms of he looked stronger, looked like he was more sort of like sturdy than he was before, and he lost a bit. I don't know whether you thought that.
Does he look sharper though? Because that's the problem. Amorim doesn't think he can cover the ground.
Look, it's early. I mean, I thought that Kobbie Mainoo would be an absolute certainty to play as 1 or 2 midfield players for United for the next 5-10 years, but it doesn't feel like the manager is fully on board with that.
His name was mentioned with Garnacho.
Agati's been very poor. I mean, we just have to say he's been poor. Casemiro, obviously, we know about in terms of legs. So you've got Bruno in there. That's going to happen because the 3 up front are going to play, you would imagine. So it's who partners.
But at least the
It's
three.
my mum.
Oh,
You've got to get it, Gal. Get it, Gal.
Hi, Mum.
Are you busy?
I'm just doing stick to football.
No, he's not busy.
Everything all right?
Yeah, no, fine, yeah. I was just worried about Mum.
What's she worried about, Gal?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll ring you after the show, Mum. I'm going round for tea tonight, so he wants to know what we're having for tea.
Okay.
Chippy.
That's
What do you have?
Nice, have a chippy tea.
What do you have when you go to your mum's?
She's asking takeaway, or shall I make something?
Oh. It's still pre-season. have a chippy tea.
At least United's attackers, them white players, our dribblers, and will get United up the pitch. So there's slightly less pressure on their midfield. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to be. That'll still be the problem that will hold them back over the next year or two unless they bring in players. But they had to start somewhere. But they weren't going to bring 7 or 8 players.
Do you think Baleba can happen at 100, like whatever it is, 90?
I'd be surprised if it happened.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if that happened.
Because I still think that he's got to do a bit more. There's still potential. You're not going to pay 100 million. You're on about buying big money for strikers or guaranteed. I still think it's potential with some of these players. You can't pay 100 million for a player that's still. You don't know where it's going to go. That's what I think.
I'm excited by
it's a great
Cunha,
opening
though.
game.
I think he's brilliant. I think he just plays the game like he just loves the game, knows
That's a
where
great
the goal
opening
is.
game,
I'm excited.
It's a great first game.
Unbelievable.
I think United Arsenal is a good
It's a
game.
brilliant game.
Brilliant game.
0-0.
No chance.
Last one, Sesko. We know less about him. Obviously, we've seen bits of him. Because obviously we've seen centre forwards come to United over the last 6, 7, 8. It's not been easy. There is going to be a pressure on him. Obviously, Højlund's still there. What do we think in terms of Sesko would be success?
Do you know what, Nev? Obviously scoring goals, of course, and getting United winning football matches. But the answer is, do we really know? Do we know? Can he guarantee you goals?
You know the thing as well with him, Roy, is that you look at Sesko, like
can be hit.
Yeah, 38. He scored 13 goals. I think 38 games in the German league. Marmoush left in December and had 15. That says to me, as a striker, he should be scoring more at that level. So you come into United, I think him like Gyökeres, he's got such great ability and physical. I think he's going to be another. He'll get 15, I think.
Think so?
I do think so.
I mean, I was saying yesterday, I think those 3, if they could get 35 between them, which is like 15 and 10 each, and maybe 40 would be unbelievable, because then you're 15 and 12.
But that is a worry, though, 13.
That would be a...
What's worried is 13 for the whole season. That would be a worry for me.
But if you said to me, righty now, in his first season, if he gets 13 goals and the others get 10 or 12, I'd be saying that's 35. I'd say I'd take that now, to be fair. That's a good first season.
What about if he got 10? No, seriously. What if he got 10? Because you just turned your nose up when I mentioned Gyökeres in 10. No. And now you're thinking about Sesko with 10.
Further on in his career, I think.
I don't care. It's Man United, and it's like you have to expect.
I think 10.
Am I hearing this?
The reason I'm stuttering is because of how I'm wondering how Cunha and Mbemo are going to do. If he scores 10 and the others can chip in with 12 apiece, I'd still say 35 from the 3 of them is a massive.
So I can't have that for Gyökeres and Saka?
I said 15. I think it's a good result for Gyökeres. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, but when I said 10, you turned your nose up. I thought you're smelling poo.
No, because the reason I say that right is because I think Arsenal will create so many more chances. They'll have so much more play. They're such a better team. He's going to be in a better team.
Yeah, he's going to get more chance. You're going to get more chances. You're going to get more chances playing for Arsenal than Man United.
Sesko is not as going to get as many chances I wouldn't have thought as Gyökeres. Is where I would be at with it.
Even with the new directness?
No,
it's changed. It's not the same.
More of
it's not the same attacking threat. It's a different attacking threat.
Don't be putting United in the bracket of Arsenal. Obviously, Liverpool and Chelsea. They're not in that
Where do United finish? We know there's obviously a lot of teams that are better than them at this moment.
At best, United for me.
Top half.
Easy.
8th or 9th.
Yeah.
You don't think they can get 6th?
I'd be surprised.
You know
Do
what?
you,
Would you?
Gary?
Yeah. I think 6th would be. I think 5th, 6th would be like that's where I think you should be aiming for.
Absolutely.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Because I think you look at Chelsea, you look at Chelsea, Arsenal, City, and Liverpool, and you think it's difficult. But I think they've got to be looking to break into that Villa, Newcastle, Spurs bracket. And
Wow.
no, they have to be looking at. They've got no Champions, they've got no Europe. They have to be looking at that 5th and 6th.
You know, I agree with that. I look at some of the other managers in the league, and Amorim's obviously come with a great reputation. It's been poor.
They've averaged a point a game.
Under the manager now, I know it's not all about the manager, but is Ruben Amorim a better manager than Eddie Howe or Unai Emery or Thomas Frank?
I don't think we know yet.
That's what I'm saying. So this idea that I don't know if he's as good as the other. He's not as good as a manager as Unai Emery or Eddie Howe. I don't think.
Yeah.
Time will
But they can't be. Well, the only thing is, last year defensively, the goals, the home record, they'll have to obviously improve on all
He's
that.
got to get a goalkeeper. I think the midfield player, it'd be. If he got a goalkeeper and midfield player, I think 5th or 6th would be, to be fair, achievable. I think without a goalkeeper, he's 8th or 9th.
If you haven't got a good goalkeeper,
You won't do it. It won't happen.
And I've said it before, the number one most difficult position in English football, Man United goalkeeper. I think it's the most scrutiny that anybody comes under. I think they've got to get like Donnarumma or Martinez. When they said Martinez from Villa earlier in the season, I wanted him.
He's
personality.
He's got the energy to take on United.
Yeah, he's got that.
he's got a big
presence.
Yeah, but he's made a lot of mistakes last year as well.
No.
But in terms of personality and character, you think he'd deal with the playing at Old Trafford. Of course, I agree with that.
Jill.
I mean, I don't understand. Well, I actually do. I mean, sometimes some of the opinions that these footballers give, these ex-pros, it can be a bit strange where they get their sort of notions from. Like Man United finishing 6th or something like that with the signings that they've just bought. I mean, come on, behave yourself. And Gary Neville saying that Man United should be aiming for 5th or 6th. I don't think so at all. Not at all. With the money that's been invested in Manchester United since the start of the summer, this team should be aiming for top 4. Absolutely. Top 4 without a shadow of a doubt. Because I know Man United were crap last season in the Premier League. They were first to hold the hand up. They were awful. But form is temporary, class is permanent. And despite the fact that we were rubbish last season, there still is a lot of talent in that team. And the past 6 months or so has been almost a purging of bad attitudes at Manchester United. Ruben Amorim has come in, he has completely gutted that squad, and he's got them on his page. Now, that kind of thing takes a lot of time. And he's scrubbed up some players that needed scrubbed up or a kick up the backside, and he's got rid of some players like Marcus Rashford, Anthony, Sancho, Garnacho, the people who don't quite have the attitude or the stomach for this fight moving forward. Now, that's not to say that De Ligt's not talented, that Mazraoui's not talented, that Ugarte is not talented, that Casemiro hasn't got anything to offer, that Kobbie Mainoo is not talented. Bruno Fernandes is one of the best players in the world. And if you add seasoned Premier League players like Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo to that attack, because at the end of the day, that's what was wrong with the team last season. We couldn't score goals. That was it. The defence was actually not too bad despite our goalkeeper. It was just, well, Roy Keane touched upon it in this little clip there. He says, you know, if you've got a good attack, it takes the pressure off your midfield, but it also takes the pressure off the defence as well. So teams are always going to be more confident at Old Trafford if they know that Manchester United can't score. So they'll open up and they'll be a bit more expansive, and then they'll get more chances, and then they'll eventually score goals. And that's what happened last season. Whereas now, they're going to be a lot more wary because we've got Bryan Mbeumo, we've got Matheus Cunha, and even initially, they're going to be looking at Benjamin Šeško, and they're going to be a little bit wary about him. If Benjamin Šeško gets 10 goals next season, I don't think that's a good return, all things considered. I think Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha and Bruno will probably do most of the heavy lifting next season when it comes to scoring goals, but he needs to contribute with 15 in all competitions. And the talking there about, well, just to clarify as well, Ian Wright, when he said 13 goals all season, he didn't score 13 goals all season. It was 13 goals just in the Bundesliga. He scored a fair few more in the Cup. the German Cup that is, and the Champions League as well. And he scored some big goals in some big games as well. And he didn't get a lot of service as well, as evidenced in the stats, because the stats say that despite his lack of service, he made the most of what service he got. So you could argue that the 13 goals that he got pretty much came from 13 chances, roughly speaking. So if Man United give him 25 chances, there's a good chance that he's got a high efficiency rate and he might bag in 25 goals or something along those lines. But he needs service. He hopefully should get that from Bruno and from Matheus Cunha, and hopefully Bryan Mbeumo will chip in with some goals as well. So yeah, Cunha, Bruno and Bryan Mbeumo will chip in with the goals, and they will take the pressure off Sesko to chip away at his goal tally for next season. But yeah, Roy Keane's right. Priority was scoring goals. We've went out and we've done that. We've spent a lot of money. So, well, at least on paper, Man United should be skyrocketing up that table, because immediately, if this squad plays to its potential, they all put maximum effort in. Now, obviously, that's a big if, but the effort part's not, because they should be doing that as professional footballers, especially now that Ruben Amorim has weeded out what needs to be weeded out. There shouldn't be any bad eggs in that squad now, so they should all at least put maximum effort in. And if they all put maximum effort in, then the talent will naturally flow through. So, if that's the case, we've got a better team than Newcastle, we've got a better team than Forest, we've got a better team than Villa. I would argue we've got a better team than Chelsea. And I think there's a fair chance we could give Arsenal and City a run for their money as well. That's just with the squad that we've got now. And if we got Baleba as well, and Donnarumma, then I'm sorry, we should be aiming for a title charge. I'm not saying we have to win, but we should at least challenge. If we had Gianluigi Donnarumma in goal, for example, we had Carlos Baleba helping that midfield, along with De Ligt, along with Lenny Yoro, along with Amad Diallo, along with Bryan Mbeumo, along with Matheus Cunha, along with Sesko chipping in as well. Not to mention we've got Ugarte, we've got the experience of Casemiro as well. Dorgu's kicking on as well. We've got Mason Mount, who people forget, he's a Champions League winner. Got man of the match in the final, if I'm not mistaken. Got the assist that won the game pretty much. So there's a lot of talent in that team. There is a lot of goals in that team now. And there's a lot of experience as well. So there's no reason why Man United shouldn't, at the very least, even now, be aiming for minimum top 4. And, you know, the Big D has spoken at length with Portuguese fans that watch the Big D's channel here on YouTube, because they're sporting fans and they want to see how Ruben Amorim kicks on, because they loved Amorim over there at Sporting Lisbon. And they all say the same thing. Ruben Amorim's first season is always awful, because that's him implementing his style, and he's weeding out the bad eggs, so to speak, and he's getting the players in that know how to play a system, that will do what he says, and will all put maximum effort in. And then the following season, it's completely transformed like that. It just goes like that. Quite simply, it just escalates and skyrockets through the roof, and they become instant title challengers. And there's no reason, provided we get the central midfielder and the goalkeeper. If we get that, the Big D is expecting a title charge, and the Big D will be looking forward to next season, or the end of the season, coming back on this channel saying, I knew it. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will say I knew it. But then again, you guys will be along for the journey in this season. I'm really looking forward to this season. I am, actually. And I'm so glad we've got Arsenal on Sunday. I'm really happy about that, because that is a good opportunity to see where we are at. Okay, because if we smash Arsenal at Old Trafford on Sunday, which is what I think we will do, then it's going to be sending a message to the entire league. And that message is, Form is temporary, class is permanent. Manchester United are back, baby. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think Man United will finish top 4? Do you think if we get the players that we want, all in, we'll have a title charge? Or do you think Man United will finish bottom half of the Premier League? Thoughts in the comments. Big D reads all of the comments and he's always interested in what is on your mind. Anyway, ciao for now and the Big D.